Hello. Hi, everyone. Good day, good day, good day. Welcome to our second episode of Life After Landing. And today we have an amazing story to tell you, full of excitement, full of good vibes. And we have a special guest on here. So, this is the first time we are streaming live over on our Opera YouTube channel. This is our first live streaming over on Opera YouTube. So if you haven't already subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button and let's start the vibes over here over on YouTube. My name is Kelly Williams and I am CEO and founder of Opera, the settlement app where we help newcomers to Canada to settle safer and faster. And today we're going to be talking about a very special topic, and that topic is how a very special guest got her PR before even completing school as an international student. Right? But before we dive into all of that, if you haven't already downloaded the Uprow app, what are you waiting on? Go to uprow.ca, download Uprow to get started. Everything you need from immigration law professionals all the way to finding your first house. All right? Everything from A to Z in Canada. And right now, we are going to welcome a very special guest. Hi, Anne.
Hello, hi everyone. Hi, Kelly. How are
How
you
are
doing
you?
today?
Great, great, great. So, Anne, please introduce yourself. We want to know all about you. Where are you from? How long have you been in Canada? Tell us everything you want to tell us. We want to
All
hear.
right, all right. So let me introduce briefly about myself. My name is An Nguyen. I am originally from Vietnam, and I have been in Canada for nearly 2 years. And before coming to Canada, I was living 4 years in Paris, France. Uh, and now, yeah, and now I'm here in Canada, and I have become the permanent resident recently. That's the reason why I'm here and share with you about my journey.
Yeah, good, great. So you lived in Paris. I didn't know that. So Anne and I met at a local tech hub here in Edmonton. I was on a panel talking, and Anne came up and she was like, "You, we need to speak. Like, you need to speak, right?" And then when we spoke, I was just so amazed and captivated by your story, right? So before we dive into the story, I want to get a bit of background more about you. So you're from Vietnam.
Yeah,
You were born and raised there. How was life
yeah.
in Vietnam? I don't think we've ever had someone on our podcast from Vietnam. So give us some background. How was life in Vietnam?
Well, actually, I was living in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. That's the south of Vietnam, and life in Vietnam, to be honest, is amazing because we have a young population. The country is developing very fast. We have all the new technology. We have the new generation who are passionate about entrepreneurship and they want to be the boss of themselves. Still
Mhm.
they're thinking are very advanced, and they want
Mm.
to broaden their vision. They want to know what is happening in the world, and
Mhm.
though the life there is pretty good for the young people, we earn, we live, we play, we can afford for our travels and everything, but still we want to go beyond our limit, and we want to go overseas and learn more, just like myself. I'm happy with my life in Vietnam. Because I was living in a big city, and we have a lot of entertainment, cafe. The life is very amazing and fun, a lot of fun. That's a city of 15 million people, huh? And in Vietnam, the population
15,
is
that's it.
100
One
million
five.
people. One five
So
million.
your city, the city that you live in is 15 million.
Yeah, and for
And how much
the
is the
whole
population of
population,
Vietnam? Yeah.
100 million.
100 million people in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Wow.
We are so crowded there, to be honest. So everywhere we go out, we see somebody, and life is quick, and everything must be fast and furious. We have to do everything as soon as possible. Everything is fast and furious. So sometimes we need to have some calm. We need to have life, some peace to look at the nature, to enjoy life. We don't really have that in Vietnam, and so I think about the Western country where we have the cold weather. We have a lot of places to travel. Before moving to Canada, I went to Europe, to Paris, France, because in everyone's imagination, France is a very romantic country, and
Mhm.
that's beautiful, the city of love, something. So I came there, and I passed like 4 years studying my MBA in France, and I
Uh-huh.
worked for a year before I moved back to my home country and came to Canada. But actually, back to your question about life in Vietnam, that's good. But I think we are the young people, and we want more than that. It's good, but we want to have more than that in terms of
Mm,
political landscape for the future of our children, of ourselves, for our future when we get old, what we will get, and what would we like, and what will be the
mm,
security in our life when it comes to pension, retirement, many things we have to think about. So that's why
mm,
I'm looking for a place out of my country to settle down. But actually, with in my country, it's a very good country. But every time we need to travel to go overseas, like to Japan, to Europe, or even to your country, uh, we need to make to ask for the visa, and it's very difficult to have the Vietnamese passport, and then we travel. Every time it's very complicated, and I
mm.
not only me but many young people, they think of going overseas, get a PR or obtain another citizenship so that we can travel easier. So that's
See,
also my
so
thing.
the
Yeah,
strength of the passport is appealing to you.
that's
The
right. The
strength,
power of the
right?
passport.
Power of the passport. Like I watched this girl. I follow these people and influencers on like Instagram and stuff, and they're like on podcasts, and everybody's like, like tea, snaps. I feel you. So what I'm saying
And
is like
if
Vietnam is
that's
good.
right, that's right.
You're
Yeah,
looking at more options, more opportunity, particularly
right,
you're thinking about the ease of being able to move through the world. So you're looking for options to maintain
right.
ease. So you want that passport, right?
That's right. That's right.
That's the global passport.
Hmm. And I
Nice.
didn't tell you. For me, I have traveled to more than to nearly 40 countries in the world, 40, and
I didn't know that.
hundreds of cities in the world. I travel in Asia, in Europe, in North America, even to Middle East, visit Israel, Palestine, and many countries that I've been to. So that's why I understand the importance of having another passport. Because
Ah.
every time I get a new visa, it's just like a victory, a new victory. And now I think if I have another passport, everybody, I don't have that headache anymore. I can go anywhere I like.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't need headache. I got you. I also love to travel, so I get it. But I think that people who have never experienced the challenge of applying for a visa, they won't understand what you're talking about. How easy it is, even not just to go visit somebody, but even to go work somewhere and live somewhere short term. Even if you want to
yeah,
go live in Paris for a year, for example, or
yeah.
Australia for a year, that's almost impossible according to what visa you have.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Correct.
So out of all of the 50 plus countries that you have visited,
Yes.
why Canada?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. I have been to many countries before. I even live in France. That's a good city, and I intended to settle there. But why Canada? I came to Canada for the first time in 2018. It's like 6 years ago, right? That's the first
Mm-hmm.
time I came to Canada, and I came to Vancouver. And what impressed me is that the people in Canada are very friendly. Uh, I don't know, it's because of the luck or something. But the first time I came to Canada, I got very good impression about the people. They are very welcoming. They are very warm, and everywhere I go, people are very helpful. And I feel so home when I came to Canada for the first time. And uh, I was hungry for more. I want to explore more about Canada. And after the COVID, it came to a time that I want to. I stayed in Vietnam during the 2 years of COVID to work and for the family issues. And after the COVID, I want to move overseas again. And I thought of Canada because it gave me very good impression for the first time.
Mm,
So I applied for a study to go to Canada because I want to know if this is the right country that I want to settle down, or I need to look for more. To be honest,
right.
I lived in France before, but finally I didn't really feel that I belong to that country. So that's why I came back to my home country and I think of moving to somewhere else. And when I enrolled for a full time study in Canada as an international student, and I
Mm.
studied with a minor in care
Wait,
and
wait,
health.
wait, 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 wait. And you're getting ahead of it. Now, all did you? I mean, I know we only on this live for 1 hour, and guys, would you all believe 15 minutes already gone? How?
Oh,
How? We're already one quarter in, but we need to stop here. We need to stop here. When you were thinking about immigration, did you consider all options? And how did you end up? You already put the cat out of the bag. You came as a student. How did you end up deciding on migrating through the student stream?
yeah. Oh, that's right. Because I thought of Canada, but I thought of the student stream because I look at the worker stream, look at the express entry stream, and at the moment, the score are very high. And if I came as a worker, I need to look for a work before I came to Canada. Uh, and at the moment I want to go, I didn't find a job. So I think the quicker way for me to enter Canada and live for more than 6 months is to be a student. But
Hmm.
the study that I chose to follow, that's something I am interested and I want to know more. So I think it's a good way. I came to Canada not only to study to discover about immigration, but I have the chance to explore about the field of study that I am passionate about. So more
Hmm.
many options: worker or express entry or investor, startup, many options I
Hmm.
have
That's
explored
a
before.
visa.
Not only this one, but for the student stream, I tried to apply for a school, and theology has nothing to do with my previous study. I have an MBA in business administration, MBA in administration with a major in entrepreneurship and innovation. So that has
Mm,
nothing to do with theology. But when I explained to the immigration about the intention I want to go there, because I am a Christian from my family for 4 generations, I want to explore more about my faith. So everything matched together, what I want to learn. And that's the
mm.
way that made me set my foot on Canada and explore more. So I decided to go with the international student stream, and
And
that's
when you
pretty.
study theology.
Yeah, theology. That's I want to
That's
go to
a
life.
first. I've never had someone on here who studied theology either. And you justified that in your letter of explanation, LOE, by saying, hey, I'm a Christian. I want to explore more about
Yeah,
my faith.
yes,
Interesting. And then
yes,
Alberta also has a stream of immigration for religious workers as well.
yeah. That's consistent because if, like, I am a Christian, I want to explore my belief and I want to do the evangelism later. That's from our belief, and it makes sense. No, after the COVID, we don't know how long we will live in this life. Why not discover one more field about our spiritual life? So that's my explanation when I explain to the immigration about the reason I
In
want
your
to.
letter of explanation.
And
So here's my question to you,
yeah,
Anne. This is the number one question we get about people who decide to come to Canada as a student. How did you get the money? The number one problem people have with coming to Canada to study is it is so expensive to study here. People are like struggling to come up with their money for tuition. They're worried about if they could pay the tuition, living expenses. Like, how did you budget that? Like, did you
hmm.
save from the past? Did you probably inherit money that you just used for that? Did you have money put aside for you as a child? How did you do it financially?
To be honest with you, I do a lot of research, and finance is really a big issue for people who want to go to Canada. So the
Yeah,
school that I
especially as a
applied,
student.
yeah, the
Yeah.
school we need to prepare everything from the tuition. to the
Yep.
cost of living every day, how much we will need to spend, and we need to reserve the finance for at least 6 months. And even for my case, I need to reserve the money back home because I need to finance for my families as well. So it's not only for me but for my families as well. So with
Mm,
for the people who only need to take care about of their study and life in Canada, to share with you is not very difficult because we need to plan about the tuition from the beginning, and then the cost
mm,
of life. For the tuition, look for the school that have the reasonable tuition first. For instance, for my school, the annual tuition is only $12,000.
mm,
Uh,
mm.
how
Can you drop some deets for us? What school did you go to? What school did you go to?
Yeah,
Because I already know
Vanguard.
some people in the comments like, what?
Yeah. In my school, there's some many people who from Latin American country, Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Tobago, yeah.
We have one student from that countries as well, and the
Uh-huh.
name of the school is Vanguard College here in
Bang.
Edmonton. Yeah,
Ah,
you know
good,
that?
good. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
you did your research and you saved up.
yeah. I actually know somebody who studied at that school and tell me that the school is of good quality, and we build our spiritual life very well from the study at Vanguard. And that's not only a school to just to study, but they have really good quality teacher. The tuition is
Mm,
reasonable and their location is good in the downtown of the city. So of course, I need to do some research, and I need to contact with the academics of the school to explain me more about what I will study. Is it worth my money spending for that, and my times as well? Because I had a full time job, I have a salary, and I have good salaries as well to pay for
mm-hmm,
my life. And then I quit my job and I pursue another study. It must worth my time and my efforts and everything. So I look for that school, and the tuition is quite reasonable, and they also offer a lot of scholarship. If we have the GPA of more than 3.4, we have 3.5, we have the 15% of up to how to say scholarship for the next year, and many other things we
yeah.
can apply for many kind of scholarship from that school. And that's something I like to study, so I choose the school with the reasonable tuition first. And then when I look for the cost of living, we need to think about the cost for the rental. We need to think about the rental fee. We need to think about the transportation fee, about the groceries fee, banking, many things. So I have to make a checklist and see how much I will need to spend for a month when I'm there. So it comes to around 1,000 to a thousand to $1,500. So I make a list, and if for me, I can afford for a year or two. For my whole program is 2 years. I can afford that by my saving before, but
Mm-hmm,
actually we can reserve for 6 months, and then when we come in, we can look for part-time job and pay for the tuition. If we have the
mm,
part-time job right here, we
yeah.
work for 20 hours a week, and we can find that job quickly. It can cover up for many expenses. And
Yep.
just for my case, I have a lot of online job because I have an expertise as an insurance expert. So I am an expert on demand, and I work for some companies outside of Canada to earn more money to cover the fees during the time that I study here.
Ooh, and you're dropping some gems. You're dropping some gems. So you heard that. And utilize technology. She on here keeping her jobs, making the
Yeah,
money, all the different avenues while going to school, right? So I have some
yeah,
persons in the comment section over on Instagram. They're asking, what was the name of the school? Can you spell the name of that school for us?
yeah. Vanguard, Vanguard College.
Vanguard.
Yeah,
Vanguard College. Is that a
yeah.
designated learning institution though? I've never
That's
heard
an
of that. It's right here in
that's
Edmonton.
an DLI. That's an DLI.
All right. So for those of
Yeah,
you who are looking into it, go check it out. And you can
yeah,
also go on to Uproar and join our student community and search for it. Go
yeah,
search for it. We've never had someone on here talking about theology. So this is why we
yeah.
love these interviews, because we
Oh,
always find out new
that's
information.
really
And
interesting. Yeah,
$12,000 tuition a year? Hell
yeah.
yeah. Go check it out, Olia.
I
Go
can
check it
introduce
out.
you to the person in charge. Just contact me. I can introduce you to that the person in
Look at
charge.
that. I feel we need to invite and add it to the village, you know. I feel we need to invite
Yeah.
add it to the village.
Many
Love
people
it.
ask me why I choose that school but not the other school. But really, Vanguard College has reasonable tuition and the quality of teaching is very good. They not only
Uh-huh.
teaching us about theology, but they train the people to work with the young people, the family, and by having that, we will not only work for the church, but can be a social worker, we can become
Mm.
counselor, psychologist in the future. And I see that
Mhm.
after the COVID, not about the tech side that we have high salary, but just have a look in Indeed. For some
Yeah.
social worker, the salary is up to $60 to $80 per hour. Can you believe that? Before
Mhm.
I came here, I didn't know that. But when I start to look for a job in Canada, and I search in Indeed about social worker with another language, just like mine, the Vietnamese or some special language, we can have the salary up to $60 to $80, and that's a lot more than the minimum wage.
Mhm. Mhm. I love it. She is dropping the gems. Okay. So you came to Canada, you looked at the cost of living all over, you decided Edmonton. Right? You
Yeah,
looked at the cost of living combined with the cost of the school, and that is how you picked out Vanguard College in Edmonton because of the cost of living, right?
yeah.
Have you, up to that time, had you ever been to Edmonton before?
Oh no, I'm very adventurous. As I shared with you previously, I have been to nearly 40 countries and hundreds of cities in the world, and it's my instinct every time I hear of something new, I want to jump in and try. Edmonton, oh, this is a name I have heard before. Oh, this is a place people say that is an igloo. It's very cold. I want to try. I want to experience how life is there. So I jump in. I want to know if I can survive.
Ah,
So
I
that's
love
the
it.
yeah. I'm very adventurous.
Just jump off your whole self and say, you know what? Yeah, I go it. And I just stuck with this, but do you have a spouse? Do you have children, or were you just moving here alone?
Yeah, I'm alone. I'm single. I come here alone on my own. I know nobody here. And when I come to
Wow.
Edmonton, I start to make my network because I'm very sociable. I can talk with anyone. And when I come here, the first community is of course we look for the community group on Facebook or somewhere, and we make friends. And when we go to school, we have another community at school, and everyone has everyone. And even here in Edmonton, we this is a city we promote the sense of community very much, and we can
Very
find
much so.
a community anywhere. Just like you and me, we know each other at Edmonton Unlimited. So that's
Mhm.
the community for startup for the people with innovation. That's why we meet
Yeah.
each other. And within a year, I expand my network. I joined on the organization like Edmonton Chamber of Commerce, where we open a spot for postgraduate student. I joined. I go to the French-speaking community where they give something free for student. I join. So I join everywhere, and the network can be expand very quickly.
I'm telling you earlier, like, I think this is the number one challenge that people have. I'm kind of going off a bit off track here. Let's look at the time. We halfway through, guys. We halfway through. So this will be a quick detour. But you just mentioned something that is so close to my heart. I tell persons this all the time. Get outside. Get
Yeah,
outside. The job is not going to come and find you. The network is not going to find you inside on your couch. And Edmonton in particular, because I've lived here the longest in Canada,
yeah,
the community is so welcoming. Like, it is so easy to expand and have a solid network here if you just go to events and get outside.
right. Right. We have
I'm
all
happy
kind of
to hear this.
events. Yeah, this is a festival city, and when every time they host an event or any festival, they ask for volunteers. So just volunteer, give what we have, and we will get what we want in an unexpected way. even for me. Yeah, I joined the French speaking community. Every time they have the French speaking club, I join. I get to know some new people, and they ask me to volunteer. So I volunteer. I have experience in events, and they are the community. They support the newcomers, and they give information about how to immigrate to Canada with different immigration stream. I joined the event, the Zoom, the seminar, everything, and they offer me some free advice about how to immigrate with express entry by being a French speaking person. So I collect the information.
Annie, Annie, don't tell them just as yet. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Okay. I think the cat is out of the bag. So now I really want to find out, while you were going to school in Edmonton, the aim here is PR, right? Because we know your motivations for immigration. It was about the strength of the passport. So you going straight to citizenship, right? So you landed here, you're in school. Did you ever worry about, okay, I'm a temporary resident, I'm going to school, how am I going to become a PR?
Honestly, when I came to Edmonton, this is like another journey of life because I have been to many countries before and I travel a lot. So I think, oh, this is the chance for me to discover Canada. If I finish my study here in Edmonton after 2 years, I can have one more year of experience and look for the way to be up because I for me I have a very strong passport with many visa and I can stay in any countries, not only Canada. But during the time that I stay in Edmonton, I come to like this city very much, and I want to
Hmm.
settle my permanent residency here. So for me, yeah, like everyone, I'm not sure if tomorrow I don't have the PR with the temporary residency, where it will lead to next year after the graduation, where I need to move to another country or go back to my home country, and how I plan my future. That
Hmm.
comes to mind as well. But at the same time, I don't worry that much because I know that I can stay anywhere in the world. But when it comes to a time like uh, last year that they give they make some changes in immigration. There are some bad changes and there's some good changes, and it come to my chance. I take the opportunity and I get the permanent residency. But still, if I want to move to other countries or move back to my country to work, I still have that. But I have one more permanent residency here, and the chance to get the citizenship is very close. So why not?
Mm,
I don't
why
have that much
not?
pressure. Yeah.
So you're studying and you see that changes have been made. And you see that you can speak French, so you can speak English, you can speak what languages can you speak? Let's start there.
My mother tongue is Vietnamese,
Okay.
and after that I studied English at school, and after that I studied French when I went to university, um, and as up during the time that I live in Vietnam, I was very much interested in traveling to China, so I studied some Chinese, some Mandarin, and Cantonese, but only for speaking. I want to vegan. That's it. I and I
I
also studied,
love it.
Japanese as well. I spent 2 years studying Japanese in Vietnam. Uh, just to
Nice.
travel. Yeah, that's my motivation. I want to travel and I want to vegan and want to understand what they are talking about. Just to say hello
Right.
and make them feel more friendly with me. So I study a lot of languages, and I also
Right.
study Spanish by myself. For some time, I study
Yeah.
Spanish. I'm very close to French. It's not good, but sometimes I can guess, and I study some conversation in Spanish just in case I go to some Spanish-speaking country. So a little bit. And there was a time I studied Arabic as well.
you just you just out here learning. I love it. She has her joy
I'm curious.
from learning. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
So
I'm
when you saw
curious.
last year that they made this change towards in favor of French speakers, you were like, aha, let me go back into
Ah,
my archive of what have
yeah.
I learned in college, which means you learned French as an adult because you were in university. But let me just brush up on this and let me see if I could snatch this opportunity. Tell us more about that.
About the French speaking opportunities here.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh, to be honest, I study French because in my family, everyone know few languages. Just like my sister, she knows Japanese. She's very good in Japanese, Spanish, German. She know everything. And when it comes to my turn, I know I need to learn something more than English, so I study French. And I have an interest in the French song. I like the fashion in Paris. I like the city in architecture. So just because the culture that I studied French when I was young, and I spent 4 years at the university to study French linguistics and literature. So I study a lot about literature just to know more about French culture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the French language helped me very much. After that, I became the interpreter for a lot of economic mission in French embassy, and I also work for some friend companies in Vietnam. So it gave me a lot of opportunities, and after that, I didn't use French for a long time, even 10 years or 15 years. I don't use French anymore. But when I came to Canada, I know that this is English and French speaking country, and I have that. Uh, it's like a second instinct. I just speak in French in a natural way, but when it comes to immigration and they ask about the proficiency, I need to study a lot to review the lessons. Just speaking, that's easy, but to have approved for immigration, that's another story.
Mm-hmm. It's like how I can only speak English. I know many people on here because we're speaking in English, they only speak English, but IELTS is easy to fail. So just
Yeah,
because you can speak English doesn't mean you're going to pass IELTS. I know
yeah,
many people who only speak English who are on their third time doing
yeah,
IELTS, right?
right. That's right. On the day that I went to the French test, the TEF test
Yeah.
here in Edmonton, uh, there are around 5 or 6 people, and four of them are French. They
Are
are French,
French,
and
they're
they have to pass
French.
the French test. They come from different regions in France, and they have to go to a French test to test their French language, although that's
Yep.
their mother tongue. So that's the
It
story
seems
here.
ridiculous. It just seems ridiculous. Even with IELTS, like even if you're migrating to Canada from Britain speaking Queen's English, guys, you have to do IELTS. Many people message me like, Kelly, do we still have to do the English assessment? Yes. Yes. And if
Of
you want to
course,
pass, to prepare. Don't just think you're going to pass it just because. No, you have to prepare for the exam, right?
that's right.
So when you heard about the selected draws, these category based draws, and that they were giving like special attention to French speakers, what was your first thought?
Yeah, I think, oh, this is my opportunity. I have to look for more. And then it's still very confusing because I didn't know that, but a friend messaged me and say, hey Anne, this is a new category stream, and they cut off very low for the French speaking people. Have a look, because I was studying, and then he want my friend want me to have the PR to get more advantages, to do more things, because we are very limited if we are student, right? Even we look for a
Mhm.
job, it's difficult. Even we look for some support from the government, that's difficult. So even we still want to study and we have a PR, there's no conflict. We want to study, we keep on studying, and we have the PR, we have more. So why not? And I said, oh, this is my chance. And I start to log in the website of the government, canada.ca, and look for the French speaking proficiency requirements, eligibility, and I read everything. uh, I read and I know more about the advantages of the program. If I have the French level of like 5 to 7, I can be qualified for the French speaking proficiency stream. But in another way, if I only have the level 5, not 7, I can get the job without the AMIA. You know about
Without
that?
the limit.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Anne is dropping the gems for you because not many people know that. If you
yeah,
are
not many
able to
people know that. Yeah,
life, you
that's
don't need a lima. So it makes it easier
yeah,
to come to Canada and find a job that
that's
can
right.
sponsor you, as people like to say, but they don't have to do the lima.
Yes, that's right. That's what I get from I read a lot, and also I get some free advice from the lawyers here. And they say if I have the level 5 of French, uh, that's already good enough to get a job without MIA, and that's much easier. We only need to pay like $200 something instead of $1,000, and a lot of proof to prove that they why they need to hire the foreign workers. But we have
Mm-hmm.
friends, because we have friends. They need us, so that's already good to get a job, right? And if we get the seven for all skills, so we can be qualified to enter the category pool. So I see that, and I say I haven't studied French for, I haven't reviewed my French for a long time. I speak very naturally, fluently, but in order to pass the test, there are a lot of skill like comprehend, like reading, listening, speaking, and how we speak in how time is. The time is very limited, and I need to work very hard. I say I have to run very hard just in case they change their mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I prepare immediately to get the IL and the French test immediately at the same time. So I
Right. So you
prepare.
had to do IELTS and TEF, and these are both not your mother's tongue, because your mother's tongue is Vietnamese.
Yes,
Right? So your friend messaged you, you went on Canada.ca, do all of the research, and sound like if she spent 2 days without leaving the house just researching, right? And
yes,
then your IELTS and your TEF. Those are the two
yes.
assessments. One
That's
English,
right.
one. These are not the only assessments, but these are the most popular ones, right? So
That's right.
IELTS and TEF, right?
Yes.
And about the cutoff score being lower, I think this is a point of confusion for many people. They think, oh, well, if I do TEF and I pass TEF, it's only going to add a certain amount of points onto my Express Entry profile. But I think the thing that most people aren't realizing is that the rules were changed, they were adjusted. So these category based draws, you're not competing with anyone else other than other French speakers, right? So
Yes.
it's like they're pulling people only who have the English French, who have the
Yeah.
French.
Hmm.
So it's less competition because 99% of people not going to learn French.
Yeah.
And because there's no competition, you're not competing with everybody else, you're just competing with the French speakers, the cutoff score is low, it's low, it's
Yeah.
low.
Very low. Yeah. But you will need to be English speaker to get that point, because
Mm-hmm.
I got the invitation in February this year, the 1st of February, and the cutoff is 365. It's very low,
Mm.
right? Right now we are
Yep.
talking about express entry is up to 500 more, 550, something very high. But if we have French, they cut off at my on the 1st of January, the cutoff is 365, and after 2 weeks they cut off again and 335 something. It dropped. It's not going up, but it dropped again, and then it go up again. But I think it's much lower than the general draw. So we have
Not
a
the
chance
general.
if we go. We have a chance definitely.
So, Anne, the question is, you still in school. So you were able to go quickly pivot, do these two assessments, get a nomination, get the invitation to apply and get PR before you finish school.
Yeah. Yeah,
Congratulations!
yeah, forgetting school. This is it.
Yay!
This is it. Yeah, I can't believe it. Every time I see it, I say, I love it so much. Every time I have to look at it like an hour or something to say, this is victory.
Congratulations. Okay, so can you give us some timelines? So when did you do the assessment? When did you submit the application? If you could remember, how long
Yeah,
did it take? What did you have to do? Give us the timeline of
yeah.
how long it took.
Yeah. All right. I know about the French speaking stream from
Yep.
last year, right? June last year, they start to have that, and I read about the information from June to August, and I make a plan to have my everything ready, like the language test, the West uh, credential qualification, something to be ready by the end of November. So I plan 4 months to get my IL test done, my TEF done, to do the credential, to do the West or EQUA something. I jumped into that. And at the same time, I study full time. It's what very stressful for me. And Even at school, my friends and my teachers say why she get she looks so frustrated easily because I was so busy every time I go to class and I put one screen here practicing my TEF and IL, and over there the teacher is teaching the other courses
Mm.
as I'm doing at the same time, studying and
Plus, you're
preparing
working
questions.
in Canada. Plus, you're working externally because you have your job some abroad online.
Yes, yes,
You work in multiple things and studying for three things: school full time, and studying for TEF and IELTS, and working and have your
yeah.
online job.
It make a lot of effort to make it done, and even for the IL, we have I have to study. Like I planned the IL first, and after I finish the IL I will pass the test. And while I finish the IL, I put the test immediately at the same time, 1 month after another. And when I finish the IL I get the score. And I know some tricks because online they say that when I get the result, I need to request for the reassessment up the score, especially the speaking and the writing. And for sure, if we pay $275 and we get the score changed, we can get the refund, and we pay only $50 to get the score up to at least 0.5 to 1. And I do the reassessment and I get 1 point more, and it got up a lot of points for me. That's the trick.
Oh my gosh, she's so emojis over on Instagram. They're going crazy. Over on Instagram, they're going crazy. Y'all give us some five emojis and you're dropping some gems. Y'all hearing this? I'm
Yeah.
hopefully hearing this, huh?
There are many people they have 6.5, they don't have 7, or they missed 0.5, and they don't know what to do. But just ask for the assessment for sure. I think 90% that you will get 0.5 more.
And
Just
as well,
say,
and
just
somebody saying you're like six people in one.
yeah. You know what? Because when you ask for reassessment, you pay $275. They think that you are serious and you have something to request, and you really need that 0.5 to
Yeah.
make something for immigration. And they will reassess, and that after that they will refund $225 for you. And they keep only
Mhm.
50. So why not paying $50 more to get more score for IELTS? So
So if
that's
you
why I
are
need,
close to the border, if you feel just about a
yeah,
smidget, it is definitely worth doing, getting it
yeah.
reassessed. And you'll
It,
get
it,
the refund,
yeah.
having to pay 50 at the end of it
Yeah.
all.
Instead of passing the test immediately again, just ask for the reassessment first. You will get at least 0.5 more. And with 0.5,
Right.
it changes a lot for the general score. So
Of
that's why I
course.
need to do
That's
the IL first. Yeah, so I have one
okay.
month to do the assessment. And then I do the friend test. And for the friend test, we will need to do like the practice on the Prep My Future platform. Just do it everything. We do, there are a lot of assignments, but try to do at least 75% of all the lessons there, and we will get it. So that's why during the time that I study at school, I open my Prep My Future. I do the exercise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I try to score everything, and
Right.
when I
Is this a platform to practice past papers for TEF? It's like a
yes,
TEF
yes,
preparation site.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Good.
and
Yeah.
one more
Girl,
here.
I'm giving all the gems. All,
Yeah.
all, all.
For the friend test, many people ask me why don't we take the TCF, or why don't we take the DEF test, but why we
Yeah.
get the TEF. I also have a lot of I also spend a lot of time going to Alliance Francaise right here, and I asked the teacher, I asked many people there, which is the best one should I take. uh, what is the difference between TEF and TCF and DEF. And I get a lot of advice, and it come to my decision that I get the TEF, because for the TEF proficiency we have less module for each test. And we can get the certification online. We can use that online, but for the TCF we will need to wait for the hard copy to be sent from France, and then we scan that, and when can we submit for the immigration. But for the TEF we use the online version immediately.
All
That's the
right.
difference.
And I'm going to take your screen 1 second. And I want everybody to understand the information that they are getting here. I feel like if people don't even quite understand what you're giving them, right? And I need to show you all that you have now have the opportunity to join our batch 4 of our French community. Batch 4 is now live. If you go to uprow.ca and go into our language tutor tab, you can go and get into our waiting list for batch 4. So if you would like to learn French from scratch, this is where you start from scratch to able to prepare for the exam. And then after the preparation, it takes 6 months. So from scratch to being prepared. And then from there, Anne is saying she's recommending a site. What's the name of the site again, Anne? People are asking for the site that you
Prep
recommend.
my future. Prep my prep is preparation, but PREP. My future.
Prep My Future.
Yeah,
Prep
just
My
search for that.
Future
Yeah,
is the site that Anne is recommending to actually get like those past papers and start preparing. So this is like
yeah,
if you know French, you're ready for
yeah.
the exam, but just need to know what the modules look like, right?
That's
This
right.
is one
That's
of the
right.
things he's suggesting.
The textbook is
Awesome.
exactly like that. You practice
Great.
everything when you come to the test. It's exactly like that, like what you practice. No need to guess a lot.
And how was the exam?
Yeah. Which exam? The French exam
Test.
or right? That right? For the
Yeah.
TEP exam, it's like IL. If you pass the IL, it's like that. But for I think I have some tips for the test because the part which is more difficult is the listening skill because it's quite difficult and it will make people have maximum 6 but not 7 to that skill. So we have to be very careful and practice more for the listening part to make sure that we
Mhm.
understand and we need to take note of what we listen. Just we can get back to the part when the time is over. We can get back to what we take note and answer. So the listening is the most difficult. For the
Mm.
reading, there's some tips because there are, I don't remember how many questions they have out there, but the 10 question before the final part very difficult. If you spend a lot of time for uh, the the question before the 10 last question, you will have no time to finish the test. So at that
Mm.
point, just try to finish. I say, for instance, we have 40 questions, and the question number 25 to 30 would be very difficult. And if we spend a
Right.
lot of time from the 25 to the 30 question, you will you will lose the point for the question from 31 to 40. So my advice is that if you find it's very difficult, just decide quickly and click whatever and make sure that we will need to finish the 10 last question because the 10 last question are very easy.
Right.
I don't know how
Okay.
to
I'll
put
let
it that
you
way.
have all the
But the 10
tricks.
last question are very easy. But if you don't pass the 25 to 30 question, you cannot go to
Yeah.
the easy part to get the point. So
Gotcha.
that's
Gotcha. You're
yeah.
dropping the gems. Okay, guys, we have 10 more minutes of this interview. I don't even know how we end up here. I don't even know how we end up here.
I think we need at
Oh,
least
we
2 hours.
already. Oh God, we have so much I want to ask you, girl. So much. So one of the things we were talking about, Anne, while we were talking in person, is that you didn't have to get married, right, to get PR, right? I think that's like a huge misconception. I'm from the Caribbean. We have this misconception as well. Many people think that the only way to migrate is to marry somebody's son, somebody crusty son, right, for PR. And I know you said something to me. You know, you're so proud of yourself that you could have done it alone, even though it took all six of you to do it, right? How do
Yeah,
you feel now that you accomplished this? You set out a plan, you strategize, you accomplished this. How does it feel?
yeah. What do you mean the strategy? The strategy here?
So the
May
strategy for as a student and for doing TEF, doing IELTS, passing it, getting into the category
yeah.
based route. How does it feel
All
to know
right.
that you had a strategy and you implemented it and you were successful?
All right. All right. So you asked me about the timeline. So that's the timeline for preparation. That I
Mhm.
took like 4 months, something to do to prepare for the test and
Yeah.
to prepare for even for the credential the qualification
Mm-hmm.
assessment like at West or IQuas, it takes
Yeah.
time and even we have some problem there. Even for me, I get an MBA in France, but they don't recognize that school by IQuas, and I have to pass to West and they recognize that. I don't know what it's so weird. But for IQUAS, they don't know my school. But for West, they know my school, and they accept my
Right.
degree as master. But we have to prepare for that. It takes more time. When they reject that, we know what to do, and it takes like 2 more months for me to settle the issue to make sure that my highest education is a master. And from the
Right.
time that I applied for I opened my express entry profile uh, at the end of January, and after 2 months, I get the invitation. After 2 weeks, I get the invitation, not 2 months.
After 2 weeks, so you
Two
open
weeks,
up, so you did all the different assessments, you set up the Express Entry profile, and in two
yeah,
weeks you get an
yeah.
invitation to
two
apply.
weeks, I get the invitation. You know, the strategy is that at the beginning of the year they have a lot of opening slot for people for invitation, so try to
The
do that at the
thresholds,
beginning
yeah.
of the year. But it comes to the middle of the year or the year end, you don't have that much at the beginning of the year. Even for the French speaking stream, they send 12,000 invitation during the first quarter of the year, but after that we don't see that much. So try to do everything and submit as early as the year begin. For me,
Mm.
it takes me
Tackle it
two
at the beginning of the year. And someone in the
yeah,
comments is asking, what year is that? We're talking about this year. Anne got her PR this year,
yeah. So
right?
I submit that. I get invitation on the 1st of February, and I do everything quickly because I prepared before. So after 10 days, I submit my PR application, and it takes me 3 months and a half to get my PR approved. 3 months and a half. That's
Congratulations.
because I'm Indian applicant, and I think that's
Yes.
quicker when they check the bank records and the proof of fund, everything. It's already in Canada, so it's quicker for an Indian applicant like me. So for express entry, French speaking proficiency, the timeline is 6 months for the whole process, but for me it's 3 months and a half. So I think
Ah,
that's pretty encouraging for those who are following that way. And the
yes,
strategy
who
is
are
that,
already in Canada studying
yeah,
in
for
London
my
quicker.
advice, the strategy is that we need to know exactly what it is required, and it takes time. When Kelly, you asked me how much does it cost. So the cost is not about the money, but about the times as well. If you don't do everything on your own and we don't have experience, it takes a lot of time to run around. But if you can you have a lot of time to research or in advance. For me, I spend a lot of time for research by my own, and I only get some free advice from the lawyer. So I know what to do. But for those who don't have that experience, I would advise you to use a legal consultant, to the
Mm-hmm.
immigration consultant, to help you speed that up and know exactly what you put in the letter, even the letter of explanation. Even for me, I have more than 3 years of working experience in my home country, and I need to explain that why do I work in the employment letter. We need to make sure which detail we put in, like the salary, like the total time, the hour we work there, the job category, does it match the NOC of IRCC. We have many details, but we need to have to put everything together. The strategy is to be
Mm-hmm.
clear, to make sure that you master every details. And the
And
second,
Anna, what Anna's saying, because somebody said they think Anna's secretly a robot. Yeah, people. Someone and say we think that Anna's secretly a robot. I think what Anna's saying, if you don't have the money, be prepared to put in the time of research because it takes a lot of research, right? But if you have the money, just pay somebody to do it.
right,
Pay somebody professional to do it.
right.
But if you don't have the money, then just be prepared to pay with your time, but it's not free. Regardless, it's not free. So you either have to pay with your money or your time, right? But you have to pay. You have to pay. So yes, Anne. Number two, strategy.
Number two strategy is do it quickly. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. When you think about getting the PR, set the timeline. Like within 3 months, I must be here. Set the milestone that we have to be here. After 1 month, after 2 months, after 3 months, you have to be there. We are in July, right? And
Mhm.
we have 5 months left until the end of the year, and you have to make it done, because the best time to be in the pool and wait for the invitation is in January. February or March. So we have to
Yep.
be there by the end of the year. And if you set that up, you try to get your IL done, your TEF done by some timeline. So do it very quickly and put on your effort to get the result that you want and make the document ready.
And guys, the batch four for the French community, the program is 6 months long, right? So this is actually right in time with the timeline Anne is saying to get into that pool at the beginning of the year. You should be preparing to do TEF by January, February next year. And what Anne is saying is do it quickly. Guys, you're competing. When you think about express entry and immigration, persons who are outside of Canada, you're competing with everybody. Persons who are inside of Canada, you're competing with Anne's.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah,
competing with
yeah,
the boy Anne, right? I
you
used to
know,
say, don't take this boy. I wonder if Anne already on that. And one day, Anne already signed up. All right? Anne already signed up.
we know because
So,
we don't know when the IRCC will change their mind, and they change their the strategy and every policy is very frequently. We don't know, but what we know
mhm.
is that from here from now 2024 to 2026 they will increase the number of the French speaking immigrant to 6% of the total number. So why not? That's still
So
our
yeah, we
chance.
sure we guaranteed
Sure.
because they're obligated to. And I think this is what most people don't understand about these draws. It's not like they can change their mind not to. We know for the next 3 years they are going to be prioritizing increasingly by 6% per year, prioritizing French speakers. So this is not like a Russian roulette thing. Learn French. If this is your strategy for immigration,
Yeah.
learn French, right? And do it quickly and get into the pool with your French because we know that for the next 3 years, we have some level of certainty that this is going to be a priority for the government.
Yeah.
Right?
And if we know French, we don't, because like my case, I don't even need to finish my study because I get my PR, and I don't even need to be in Canada to get that PR. So why not you? You are somewhere in the world and you know French and you have some other requirement meet like IL, your age, your educational degree, you have working experience. Just submit it, and you have to cut off point very low, just like 300 something, and that's your chance.
Yeah. And now that you have your PR, yes, you're still in school, but you don't even need to study. You could it's like you can do whatever you want. You're a permanent resident. You can continue studying at the discounted fee because now
Yeah,
it's not discounted, it's normal fee, not the international student fee. Or you can decide to pivot. You can do whatever you want, right?
yeah.
So
Even
leave
with the
Canada, you can
PR,
come back to Canada. You can do whatever
yeah.
you want.
Now I want to study. I keep on study. I don't have to, or I don't need to quit it. But with a PR, I can get the student loan, which is not available for international student. But now I am a PR. I can get the loan from the government and the grants as well. If you have
And the
family in UK,
grants,
you have the grants. So why not get the PR? They come with a lot of advantages.
110%. Okay, so as we draw to the end, we write on the 1 hour marker. If you were to do it all over again, what would you do differently?
Uh, I think right now, what would I do differently? I think for the process, if I could get some advice from immigration from the beginning, I will get there quicker than I look for all the information on my own
Mm,
if I can afford that. But everything is I think I do think according to my strategy.
mm,
But if there's something I could do differently for the PR process, that's what you mean?
yeah. And generally in speaking, if you could do anything differently, so what you're saying is if you had gotten immigration advice, legal advice, you would have been able to do it quicker
Yeah,
without all of the hours
yeah.
and hours of
Uh,
research that you put.
yeah. Okay. If I could do something different, I would save more money because coming here. So it will help me much more on the living in Canada, and I
Mm,
will have more time to do other things because now I have to do a lot of things at the same time, and life is pretty tough, and I don't have a lot of time for myself. But if I got more money, more saving before I come to Canada, I prepare myself better financially. Life would be easier.
I like that. I like that. Thank you for that honest feedback. And in closing, Anne, Before we close, I just want to say thank you so much. We appreciate you. You dropped all the gems. You gave us all the details. She didn't hold anything back. All they gave us some fire emojis, right? And the last thing we want to ask you is, what advice do you have for someone who is just doubting themselves? What advice do you have for someone who's doubting their ability to do this?
Uh, I think in life there comes a time that we doubt ourselves because we cannot get there and we don't know if we could get there, and that's natural for any humans. So my advice for you is that focus on the positive thing in life. If we keep on doubting ourselves and focus our energy on the negativity will happen. If we stop doubting ourselves but start to make efforts and believe that we get what we want, even right now when we are doing something, believe that we have already got that and imagine what it looks like on the day that we achieve that. So focus
Mm,
that and imagine how we are, just like the day we get a PR, what we do, how proud we are when we get that. Think about that as a motivation instead of focus our energy on the negativity and the doubts of ourselves. That's not good. So shift your focus on the positive side of things and just make the
mm.
effort, knock down, make efforts, move ahead and remove all the obstacles. Your objective is out there and you will get there if you don't give up.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Anne. And guys, Anne, I didn't mention this before, but Anne is the equivalent of me to the Vietnamese community here in Edmonton. So she has a community just like us in the village, right? But it's the Vietnamese version, right? I'm gonna be invited to a couple of their meetups, go eat some Vietnamese food and stuff, right? And Anne does a lot of work within her community as well. So apart from coming to Canada, setting up herself, doing all of these things, the 6 people that we spoke about that did all of the things, holding on the job in Canada, holding down her job foreign, studying full time, studying for IELTS, studying for TEF, and still trying to live a life and sleep. And also has been helping people from Vietnam to settling in Edmonton and in Canada in general. Like, you are amazing. You are like a superhuman, right? And we appreciate you and we look forward to more collaborations between the Upper community and the Vietnamese and the community. I don't know what's the name of the community, but we'll find out. And thank you so much for doing this interview.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be able to share with you my story today. And if I can do it, you can. Just don't give up.
Don't give up. Thank
Yeah,
you
don't
very
give
much.
up.
Take care. And I'm going to take you
Yeah.
off screen now. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
All right.
So, guys, I hope you enjoyed episode 2 of Life After Landing. This is a special one because the first time we are streaming live on the Opera channel on YouTube, and the first time we're streaming live on the Opera Instagram channel, right? And all you heavy, heavy, heavy in the comment section. So share this, let them know here over here on Opera, right? And I hope that you all were able to gather some gems from this interview. But before we close off officially, I have some things to share with you all. First of all, if you haven't already, go join the waiting list for batch 4 of the Upper. Head down to uprow.ca, download the app, create your accounts, head into the language tutoring tab, and go join the waiting list. It's a 6-month program that will prepare you for TEF. We already have batch 1 to batch 3 in full swing. So you'll be joining this community if you would like to learn TEF, learn French for TEF. Another thing that I wanted to mention to you all is that we have some good news, right? So you all know Upro has all of the features that you need to settle in Canada. Everything from that initial immigration lawyer consultation to the language tutoring to the international students community that we have on Upro. But did you also know that we have housing on Upro? We have banking on Upro. We have career coaching on Upro. If you're trying to find a job, you could go sign up and register with one of the largest recruiting firms throughout Canada. And most recently, since our launch 2 months ago, one of our Upro community members purchased her first house through Upro. And here is her. We are so excited about this. We are so excited about this. Now, this is not the first person to purchase their home through Upro. As a matter of fact, this is the fourth person to do that. But this is the first person on Upro 2.0. 2.0, 2.0 for the win, right? Super excited, especially because this person started as an international student. They're now a permanent resident. They've used almost all of the services through Upro, and this is like the final one. This is the final one, right? We are super excited. And you know what? I'm going to try to get this person to come and do a live with us as well to walk us through the entire journey from point A to point B on Upro. Last but not least, I want to encourage you all to go download the app and go check out some of the free resources on our app. So if you're planning to land in Canada, if you're already here and you need financial advice, budgeting, need to find out about how to plan for retirement, need to find out about how to open up all of these accounts to get that money back from the government for retirement and for savings and tax-free savings, you would need to go to our finances tab on Upro and book this free call with Wajida and Andre, which is finance. So head to the finances tab because what you're waiting on. And while you're there, every single person should take advantage of the career coaching tab, where you're able to go and sign up with one of the largest recruiting firms throughout Canada, Applin, and they will help you as a newcomer to find your first job in. And there we have it. All of the freebies. All of the freebies. That and so much more you're able to access on Upro, the settlement app. The app that will help you to settle safer and faster in Canada, as well as to connect with your community. And there we have it. The journey is the prize. You'll have an amazing, amazing, amazing day. We plan to do this every week. So you know what? Next week, Friday, we're back for episode 3 of Life After Landing. Y'all take care and remember, the journey is the prize.